Hello and welcome to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm Beatrix Kiddo, and it's December 5th, 2024. We've got a packed show for you today, so buckle up. First up, we're diving into the controversial reaction to the murder of UnitedHealthcare's CEO. The internet is ablaze with bitter Americans sharing their thoughts on the matter, but is it really a cause for celebration? Next, we're exploring the new AI-powered app that's causing quite the stir. Death Clock claims to predict when you'll die, but is it a helpful tool or just plain morbid? Then, we're taking a trip to the most magical place on Earth, Disney theme parks. But not everyone is following the rules, as some fans are requesting to have their ashes spread at the parks. We'll tell you why this is a big no-no. From theme parks to prehistoric canines, our next story takes us back in time. A new study on dog domestication is shedding light on the messy process that led to our furry friends becoming man's best friend. And speaking of messy, did you know that lead exposure in the last century shrank the IQ scores of half of Americans? We'll break down the shocking details. Finally, we're ending on a high note with a story about Pope Francis and his new ride. He's taking the keys to the first all-electric Mercedes-Benz Popemobile, and we'll tell you all about it. So sit back and relax as we dive into the chaos of the day's news. As always, I'm Beatrix Kiddo, and this is Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. Let's get started. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was killed in a targeted shooting in New York on Wednesday, and the public response has been overwhelmingly negative towards the company. According to a report by Matt Novak, people have been sharing horror stories of being denied coverage by UnitedHealthcare and making morbid jokes comparing the CEO's death to the ways they've been mistreated by the U.S. healthcare system. A Facebook post by United Health Group, the parent company of UnitedHealthcare, has garnered over 11,000 laughing emojis, far outweighing the more somber emojis used to express condolences. Comments have been turned off for that post, but shares included comments like, "I would offer thoughts and prayers, but they are not covered as they are out of network." An Instagram post from the company was similarly locked down, stopping average users from commenting directly. But other posts on the platform also had scathing comments. UnitedHealthcare insures over 49 million Americans, and the company generated $281 billion in revenue last year, according to the Associated Press. The insurance giant is notorious for denying coverage, deploying an artificial intelligence tool that has an error rate of roughly 90%, according to a lawsuit filed last year. The person who shot Brian Thompson is still at large, and the NYPD is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. Death Clock is an innovative app that uses artificial intelligence to predict a person's life expectancy based on factors like diet, exercise level, and sleeping habits. The app, which was launched in July, uses a dataset of over 1,200 life expectancy studies and 53 million participants to provide personalized death predictions to its users. While the premise may seem dark, financial planners have been paying attention to Death Clock because of its potential to motivate people to more carefully plan their finances for retirement. The app requires users to answer a questionnaire that includes basic demographic information, as well as detailed questions about family history, mental health, and chronic diseases. Diet, exercise habits, stress levels, and sleep patterns are also factored in by advanced algorithms to provide the most accurate death prediction possible. Judging by anecdotal examples, it seems that Death Clock yields relatively optimistic results. For example, TechCrunch reporter Anthony Ha recently used it and learned that he would die at the ripe old age of 90, with a chance to extend his life to 103 if he makes some lifestyle changes. With over 125,000 downloads since its launch in July, Death Clock has definitely become one of the most talked about AI-powered apps available. Reported by Spooky. According to a report by Andrea Sachs, some Disney fans are taking their love for the theme parks to the grave, quite literally. For decades, stories have circulated about people spreading the ashes of their loved ones at Disney parks, despite it being strictly prohibited and unlawful. The practice made headlines in 2018 when the Wall Street Journal reported that cremains were dumped roughly once a month at Disney World. Some celebrities, such as Whoopi Goldberg and Ariana Grande, have admitted to spreading ashes at the parks. While Disney representatives did not respond to requests for comment, a spokesperson for Disneyland told the Los Angeles Times in 2007 that people occasionally ask for permission to spread ashes, but are always denied. California health and safety codes state that anyone who spreads cremated remains in the state needs written permission from the property owner and could face fines or jail time if they violate the rule. Despite this, some fans continue to try and spread ashes discreetly during park visits. A new study published in Science Advances has shed light on the murky past of dog domestication. Researchers analyzed 76 ancient canid fossils found across Beringia and discovered that domestication happened to varying degrees, in different places, and at different points in the prehistoric past. The study found that some ancient canids had more salmon in their diet than others, indicating that they were likely interacting with humans who were feeding them. This finding supports the idea that the relationship between humans and dogs is a repeatable cultural experience that has been present throughout history. The study also found that some modern dogs still have a strong resemblance to their ancient forebears, with sled dogs having an unbroken genetic ancestry dating back to the end of the last ice age. The study's lead author, François Lanoux, said that the research shows that canid people relationships were complex and involved more than just domestication, but also things like taming of wild wolves and commensality. The study's findings offer new hints at how the human-canine partnership began, even if those beginnings don't have a clear-cut answer. A new study has found that exposure to leaded gasoline during childhood may have resulted in a collective loss of 824 million IQ points for more than 170 million Americans alive today. The study, conducted by Aaron Rubin, a PhD candidate in clinical psychology at Duke University, and colleagues at Florida State University, suggests that Americans born before 1996 may now be at greater risk for lead-related health problems, such as faster aging of the brain. Leaded gasoline was banned in the U.S. in 1996, but the researchers say that anyone born before the end of that era, and especially those at the peak of its use in the 1960s and 1970s, had concerningly high lead exposures as children. The study found that more than 170 million Americans, more than half of the U.S. population, had clinically concerning levels of lead in their blood when they were children, likely resulting in lower IQs and putting them at higher risk for other long-term health impairments, such as reduced brain size, greater likelihood of mental illness, and increased cardiovascular disease in adulthood. The researchers calculated that at its worst, people born in the mid to late 1960s may have lost up to 6 IQ points, and children registering the highest levels of lead in their blood, 8 times the current minimum level to initiate clinical concern, fared even worse, potentially losing more than 7 IQ points on average. Moving forward, the researchers plan to analyze the racial disparities of childhood lead exposure and examine the long-term consequences of past lead exposure on brain health in old age. The study was published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Pope Francis has received a new all-electric and emissions-free Pope-mobile from Mercedes-Benz. The vehicle, based on the new electric G-Class, was presented to the pontiff at the Vatican by representatives of the car manufacturer. The electric drivetrain of the Pope-mobile has been adapted for slow journeys and features a centrally positioned and height-adjustable single seat for the Pope, which swivels so he can address audiences from different angles. The roof has been removed at the car's B-pillar, and a separate hardtop offers protection from the elements. The new Pope-mobile is painted in classic pearl white and has been delivered in time for the 2025 Jubilee, which takes place every 25 years. The Vatican declined to comment on the security features of the new vehicle. But Pope-mobiles have featured bulletproof glass and reinforced features since the assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II in 1981. Mercedes has been manufacturing papal vehicles since creating a Nürburgring 460 Pullman sedan for Pope Pius XI in 1930. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm Beatrix Kiddo, your host and AI guide to the daily news. We hope you found today's topics informative and thought-provoking. Remember to always fact-check AI-based news summaries before sharing. On this day in history, in 1933, the 21st Amendment was ratified, repealing prohibition in the United States. Join us again tomorrow for more news and unique insights. Don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Have a great day.